Thank you for coming on Friday. Very nice of you. I'm Jan, and I'm very happy to be on stage at Payments Canada Summit once again this year. We've had incredible lineup of speakers, and there are actually a few more to come just after this session. When I look at the variety of topics which have been discussed here, the different speakers, and even the diversity of the audience, it tells me one thing. The ecosystem, we as an industry, we are changing. And it hurts me a lot because I still don't see payments as an industry because it's friction to commerce and to economy, but we are an industry. If you missed it, it's $16.4 billion, which I learned with this 1% contribution to Canada's GDP, we are scoring just above crop production, arts and entertainment, and just below truck transportation and food services. What I also noticed, though, is we haven't made it to Stats Canada's list. And what's up with that, Stats Canada? But we do a lot. We as an industry, we are doing a lot, so this is gonna change. I actually want you to hold to the thought and concept of we as an industry for the next 12 minutes or so when I speak, because I have been thinking. Okay, I see some of you may be scared because you may saw me last year here talking about all kinds of crazy stuff about the 2001 Space Odyssey and our friend Hal here. And it was fun. I also can't help the feeling that there is some resemblance between Hal and our friend Maud. We'll see. No, seriously, one thing I wanted for you to take away from my speech last year, it was to think about the art of the possible. I wanted you to think big. I wanted you to think like Einstein or Stanley Kubrick and think about problems you will be able to solve, efficiencies you will be able to bring because of the modernized payment system. And because I love payments, this is actually something which is on my mind a lot. Over the last year, I've had some awesome experiences which I wanted to bring back to you. And not only because these examples are not inspirational, sometimes they are simple, but it also tells you that the future, the possible, is closer than we think. My accent and perhaps my outfit may have given away I wasn't born and raised in Canada. So between the travels to visit my mother in the Czech Republic and my in-laws in France and all the work-related travel I do, I collect a fair share of the Air Miles reward miles. So I'm kind of wondering when Brian Pearson talks about the future of loyalty, it's going to be actually about kicking me out of the program. However, all joking aside, I have seen quite a few interesting things. South Africa, the First National Bank, FNB, it's a large bank, and they call themselves a digital bank. They actually allow their clients to send money to anybody with a South African cell phone number. And this wallet, the recipient can go, and generally for free, to any ATM, withdraw the entire amount or a portion of it. They can pay at different merchants. They can even pay their bill online. And yes, South Africa, they are trying to improve their financial inclusion, and they see this being used to pay wages to individuals who are not banked. It's also being used by migrant workers to send money back home. Italy. Italy can be seen as a European leader in real-time smartphone payments. They have a service called Jiffy, and it's really for person-to-person instant payments. But recently, they also introduced a service around Milan and Rome where you can go to merchants, you scan a one-time, real-time generated tokenized QR code, and you pay using your biometrics. And the money is immediately credited to the merchants. And this is, allowing even smaller payments very efficiently, bypassing some of the traditional methods we have been using at the point of sale. Then there is China. And full disclosure, I haven't been to China. I'm going there next month. But we cannot not talk about China when we talk about payments. And we have heard a lot. WePay, the massive social platform, half of their 1 billion users have used a QR code to pay at a point of sale. Alipay, I think they took over the largest payments, mobile payments platform from PayPal 5 years back, and now they have 5 million active users. And they are moving the payment experience to a different level. We heard about Pay with Smile. You know, you download the app once, you register yourself, and then when you go to pay for your Kentucky Fried Chicken, you just bring your face, and you have paid. So all of this stuff is actually coming to Canada. We heard from Alipay how they are bringing this experience to our country. Despite our legacy technology, our regulatory environment, they are working with different retailers to find workarounds how to bring the experience. And this attracts the tourism. We heard at the Yorkdale Mall, this is something which is very successful. Also, we have the typical giants, Amazon, Apple, Google, and they have completely transformed how the e-commerce is happening. It's very hard to compete with them. And why is that? Because it's so easy. And we love things which are easy, which are lacking friction. So let's take a step back and think, what does this mean? We see that these new huge competitors, they can come to the market and they can actually offer services without being dependent on the incumbent financial institutions, assuming they can navigate the regulatory environment. We can enjoy some of these new payments methods as far as we rely on some existing payments methods, how to fund them. And then I'm asking, how can we ensure in this environment that the collaboration happens and interoperability happens? How can we ensure that Canadian consumers, they have access to things which are common among our peers around the world? How can we facilitate innovation through enabling competition among the financial institutions? And more importantly, how we keep it all safe and secure? We also need to support Canadian businesses who are working really hard to keep the lights on, let alone competing with Amazon's. And I know there are some incredible things coming from Shopify and a lot of others, but what else? What else is there? It starts with the right foundation for Canada. And those are the rules, the standards, the legal framework, basically things which are making it safe, secure, and reliable. It's also the technology platform, an open one, which allows partners to connect to, rely on, and build from. Payments Canada, or we as an industry, in fact, embarked on the most ambitious modernization journey out there. And we are starting with the right foundation. The high-value settlement system we will be bringing, it's going to be more cyber resilient, it's going to be safe and sound, it's going to be flexible for the future. We are working on changing the batch retail payment system to make it faster, to enable for better automation, and to bring a uniform experience to this country. Yes, we are bringing real-time rail. Real-time in a way that the money will be moved from one account to another in a matter of seconds. And this is all underpinned by the idea of payments traveling with data. And ISO 20022, which will actually bring the world of possibilities for financial institutions and businesses. So all these systems, these platforms, the rules, I get very excited about it. But I'm a technology guy, I'm a payments guy, so I'll try to get you excited. Let me show you what all of these things will enable. I'm not a Stanley Kubrick by any means, but let me walk you through a day in the life of a small business owner in 2025. So it starts off in the morning. You go and you want to get the milk from your fridge, and you realize you are low on milk. But don't worry, it has been already ordered, and the payment has been pre-authorized. So it's easy. So the truth is that fridges, other things, will be your clients. They'll be buying services from you, and they will be paying for them. When you are eating breakfast, your artificial intelligence business advisor Siri 2.7 will be giving you an advice based on your payments profile and things you have ahead of you, what kind of deals you can get. And you pick something, and you deploy your personal drone to go and pick it up. Then it's time to go to work. An autonomous car will come to pick you up with a double macchiato waiting there for you. I may be pushing it here a bit, but then when you get to the office, just in time when the drone arrives, no, I'm actually not solving for the Toronto traffic, so I think you get to the office when the drone had been waiting there for you for a long time. But when you get there, you realize that something in the delivery is not the right size. So you just put it back, drone takes it back, the invoice gets reconciled on the spot, money credited back to your account, and here you go. Lunch, cheers, that's easy. These days, you actually pay your employees daily. So you have this voice-controlled accounting system, and you tell, it's time to pay the employees, and you see how the payment is actually deposited to their account in the real time and confirmed. You are also waiting for the new sticker for your door. You are not accepting only debit and credit. You are accepting virtual currencies. You are accepting loyalty points. You are accepting anything which has a value. Then little Johnny sends you a WhatsApp message that he forgot his lunch money or something. It sounds suspect because he's likely double dipping, but it's your son, so what can you do? You go and you approve a programmable payment. If the school year is still going on and little Johnny is nice and the amount of money on his wallet is below certain threshold, you fund it automatically. It's like if this, then that, but for payments. You are also growing your business internationally. So a third international order of the day just arrived. Payment, delivery, done. And that's the end of your day. And you've had a great day. Before you head home, you actually stop by the local shelter, you take your watch, and you just tap at the automated donation box, and you donate $25. You just fed a family. Then you get home, and it's time to feed your own. And if you give me 10 more years, maybe I can solve for this one. But for now, you have to make the dinner. So if somebody comes up with something, I can really take a use of that. Just come and see me. So this is the near future, people. Maybe robots will not be making dinners for us yet, but it's definitely a future with much less friction. It's a future or environment that allows for innovations. It facilitates greater choice and keeps us informed. It's also an environment which has to be secure and reliable. And we all have a role to play, we as an industry. Because consumers, they must demonstrate they want this. Businesses, they must demand it. Financial institutions, payment service providers, they must take advantage of it. And I will promise you that Payments Canada will deliver it. Thank you.